Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a continuation of the How I Play Mandolin series, and in this video we're going to talk about double stops. So double stops are a lot easier to understand than what it seems on the face, and actually if you know how to play a chop chord, I'm going to show you shortcuts we can use as well. And from there we're going to kind of build a scale with double stops that I want people to practice as well. So stick around to the end of the video. First we're going to need to define what a double stop is, and for this understanding we're going to start with just the root and one of its harmony notes, and specifically three versions of it. So the major double stop, which is going to be the root in its third, the minor double stop, which is going to be the root in its flat third, or just a root fifth double stop. Those are going to be the three we start with right now and for this exercise. It's called a double stop because the idea would be to play both of those notes at the same time. So let's look at an easy way to build double stops. If you know a chop chord, shown here, you actually know a couple different versions of double stops. So let's start with the most basic double stop, the one that everyone kind of learns as a beginner mandolin player, and I'm going to use terms that are above and below, meaning higher or lower, right? So if it's a G with a third below it, it would be the root at a high note, and the third would be below it, meaning it would be in a lower note. So now that we have that context. I think this is a chord that everybody learns. This is actually a double stop. So if these two fingers here would be the root and the third below it, that is your first double stop. So we'll come back to that double stop pattern in just a minute, but first let's look at a root with a third above it. Here's the root, and here's the third, same place. Those that are paying attention and have been playing mandolin might start to see that the bottom half of the chop chord is going to be just two roots and a harmony note. That's a video for a later date, but at the same time it's good to think about that some of the voicings that we really are looking for on the mandolin are just double stop voicings. So let's look at the root and fifth voicing, which I'm going to play in two positions. One is going to be more of the chop chord position, where it is in the chop chord, and then where we can find it at a higher octave so it's more accessible to lead playing. So the root fifth and the chop chord in the key of G is actually going to be this G note with the fifth below it. Like that. So if you had a chop chord like this, it would be your ring finger and your pinky. And then down here, it would be the root with the fifth below it. So before we get into the minor double stops, let's look at one really big application of a root fifth double stop, and that's going to be kickoffs. So a lot of times just the root fifth kind of kickoff is going to be something that's really accessible to beginners, and a lot of times as a tool that you use all the way up. I still use it to this day. So let's look at how that sounds. So if we have the root 5, we're here, but you may have heard this kickoff before, right? Where that comes from is this root, right? I may ended up at this other double stop, but this is how I kicked it off. Next, let's look at minor double stops. So pretty simply, we can just take a major double stop, we can flatten the third note. If it's just the root and the third, you just take the third and you move it back one fret, like this. Root, third, now that's the beginning. What we can do next is we can take this a step further and actually look at a major scale with harmony, and we can then build our double stops off of that type of diatonic pattern, meaning it would be major, G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, and G again. And that double stop pattern gives you much more of a mandolin sound. All right, so let's do a recap. We have major, minor, and fifth. Thank you for watching this video. If you have questions, drop them in the comments section. If you would like to learn more, go to my Patreon for more in-depth lessons. Also reach out for personal lessons and stream my music on Spotify or iTunes or whatever streaming platform you use. Thank you. See you at the next video.